Hello, Assalamualaikum. We are from Mechanical Engineering Department, currently doing our second year, second semester studies. So in this group project, we will be solving a problem that related to engineering course by using C++ programming. These are our group members. Firstly, we have me, myself, Akmal, and then we have Wafeeq, Ariff, Iskandar, and Eiman Danish. There are only 4 of us. So in this group project, we have chosen to solve a problem that related to quadratic equation. A quadratic equation is an equation where the highest exponent of the variable is up to the power of 2. It will be something like x squared as written there. It's usually written as ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Here's an example: 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 equals to 0, where x is the manipulating variable of the equation. For the problem statements, I would like to consider a case study of a football match where the ball is being kicked off the ground. The ball will firstly go up and then it will eventually land back on the grass. By measuring its maximum height and range of the projectile motion, the velocity of the ball can be calculated at each instant by determining the time at a point using a quadratic equation, with time t as its manipulating variable. However, to calculate the time t by using a quadratic equation manually will take a long time. Therefore, since C++ programming was introduced to ease the process to determine the value needed, can it reduce the difficulties and the time taken to solve a problem that requires a use of quadratic equation? The objective of our group project is firstly to solve the problem by applying quadratic equation using C++ programming, and then to prove that C++ programming can be related to a quadratic equation, and lastly, to enhance our knowledge about the C++ programming.
Hello, my name is Ariff, and for the objectives, we aim to solve this problem by applying quadratic equation using the C++ programming. And then we will want to also show how C++ program can relate with other real-life problems, in this case quadratic equation. And finally, we want to enhance our knowledge about C++ programming. As for the solution for our particular problem, we want to develop a C++ program coding that will solve real-life problems, in this case, quadratic equations, all the while having an interface that is easy for the user to use. So further down in this video, you will see the final coding that we have developed throughout the entire project. So that's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi, my name is Iman Danish by Mohammad Nizam, and I'm in charge of presenting about the flowchart. So the flowchart will start with a start, and then the program will ask the user for input A, B, and C, and then after the user put the input for A, B, and C, the program will process the discriminant, which is discriminant equals to B times B minus 4 times A times C. And then, if the discriminant is equals to 0, the program will process T1 equals to negative B divided by 2 times A. And if the discriminant is larger than 0, the program will process T1 equals to negative B plus square root discriminant divided by 2 times A, and also T2 equals to negative B minus square root discriminant divided by 2 times A. And if discriminant is else or negative or lesser than 0, the program will process real part equals to negative B divided by 2 times A, and also imaginary part equals to square root negative discriminant divided by 2 times A. After the process of one of these three processes, the program will display T1 and T2. After that, the program will also ask the user to continue. If continue, if the user say yes, the program will start all over again from the input A, B, and C, which means the program will ask from the user again to insert the input A, B, and C. And if the user said no or N, the program will display thank you with a smiley face and end.
Hello, I'm Wafeeq, and now I'm going to explain to you about the code. Okay, first thing we need to include CMath. CMath will declare a set of functions to compute common mathematical operation and transformation. And the F stream is a class for both read and write files. Next, we will declare all the variable A, B, C, T1, T2, and so on. And next, we will use the offstream command to creating an output file for the code. Inside this generates output file contains the output value prompted by the user and the resulting input. After that, for the while loop, program will ask the user to input y or n. If the user input y, the program will end. If the user input y, the program will continue. And if the user input n, the program will end. Next, the program will ask the user to input the value of A, B, and C. You can see here. After that, program will solve the problem using the formula inside the if-else loop. The discriminant is will tell us whether the solution has one solution, two solution, or no solution. Next, inside the if-else loop, if the discriminant is more than 0, the program will use this formula to compute the value of T1 and T2, and it will display the roots are real and different. Next, if the discriminant is equal to 0, the program will display roots are real and same, and the T1 and T2 value will be equal. Lastly, if the discriminant is less than 0, the program output will display roots are complex and different, and the value for T1 and T2 will be calculated by using this formula. Lastly, the program will ask the user if they want to continue by input the value of y or n. If the answer is n, the program will display thank you, else it will display wrong input and the program will end. As you can see, this is the sample output and text file from the program. The user has input the 1, 5, and 6, and it will display the roots are real and displayed and different, and the value of T1 is -2, T2 is -3, and the program will ask if they want to continue or not. If they input Y, the program will continue until the user input the value of n. Thank you. And this is the output file in the text file has been made. In this file will contain the value of T1 and T2.